Thank you, Shannon. Good evening and welcome to Fox News Primetime. If you are wide awake, you understand that today's woke leftists hate many, many things. The Constitution, Donald Trump, Fox News, comedy, and of course you. But if you've ever noticed, there is really one thing that woke socialist progressives seem to hate more than anything else, and that's babies. Of course, the industrialized murder of 60 million unborn infants since Roe versus Wade is reason enough to question if when Democrats promise to take care of your children, they mean it like Mary Poppins or Tony Soprano. But even on issues less fundamental than abortion, the left doesn't just take their problems out on America's kids. Their problem seems to be that there are American kids at all. Radical environmentalists regard children as enemies of the climate. Corporate elites see babies as expensive competitors for the time, attention, and creativity of professional women, which they apparently feel should belong exclusively to them. Critical race theory con men suggest that babies become racist as early as 3 months old. New York Times columnist Paul Krugman, pictured here holding his fur baby, apparently believes the child tax credit is racist too because it's really about more white Christians. Radical feminists have built their entire brand around deprioritizing family life and shaming happy moms as sellouts to the patriarchy. I used to wonder where this weird hatred of boys and girls came from until I became a parent myself last year. And I finally realized progressives hate babies because they are crying, drooling, pooping refutations of everything woke leftists believe. Boys and girls are the answer to the left's every argument and the antidote to their every poisonous lie. First, of course, babies are alive from the moment of conception. Everyone who has ever seen an ultrasound knows it. Second, children are male or female. Parents learn the hard way that sex is not a social construct. Social constructs don't pee on you while you're giving them a bath. Children are individuals. People who know lots of kids know that identity politics is nonsense. Everyone is born different. The only diversity that matters is the universal diversity of each child of God. Children are creative. There is no greater proof of the wisdom of markets than the restless inventiveness of a single 6-year-old. Spend 5 minutes outdoors with a pack of kids and you'll see they're not going to destroy the environment, they're going to save it. Children are brave, terrifyingly brave. Girls are fierce and independent, boys are heroically reckless. They are not the helpless, timid victims leftists say people are. And just as important, neither are we. That's the left's real problem with children. They create families. They turn boys into men, couples into parents, and women into the archangels we call moms. This understanding of family rejects the old forms of authoritarianism just as it rejects the newer evils of eugenics. America's founders didn't seek to build a utopia out of the bloodstream of elites, but a republic where every child born in America, no matter the meanness of his origins, has the limitless potential and a spark of the divine. Remember, this was a nation begun by the rejects of the old world, the rebels, the criminals, the religious fanatics, not exactly royal blood. But it turns out that even the wretched refuse of the world can produce a nation that is the envy of it. Families are the ultimate source of meaning and happiness in society. To the modern left, this makes them a rival to their totalitarian politics. Babies, the moment they arrive on the scene, create a force field of love and self-sacrifice and responsibility that leftism cannot penetrate. Attentive parents don't give over their minds, bodies, and souls to the latest Washington outrage. The left thinks that's because kids are a distraction. No, it's because soccer practice and homework and story time are 1,000 times more important than whatever AOC tweeted today. As G.K. Chesterton wrote, how can it be a large career to tell other people about the rule of 3 and a small career to tell one's own children about the universe? You must be wide awake to the reality of the threats our nation faces. But part of that is understanding the importance of family life as an objectively better way to spend your time. Better for the kids, better for the parents, and better for the country. The natural authority parents exercise over their kids gives them dangerous ideas about exercising their constitutional authority as citizens over the state. The more attention we pay to our families, the more time we spend with other families, at play dates, little league games, church picnics, school plays. Children don't just turn individuals into families, they also pull families into communities, turning moms and dads into coaches, Sunday school teachers, neighborhood watch patrols, and Meals on Wheels drivers. It sounds exhausting, sure, and it is. But the real secret is that the more kids couples have, the more they realize how strong and capable they truly are. This the woke left cannot abide. Leftism is an ideology of fear, grievance, and affected helplessness. Families live lives of relentless, genuine adventure, indifferent and immune to the numb, high-tech loneliness leftism offers its screen-addicted serfs. Too little was made of Black Lives Matter endorsing explicitly the destruction of the nuclear family, a step that would rob children of their potential to realize their freedom. That is the left telling you in no uncertain terms what they want. Children are not the left's kryptonite, but its cure. The world must be peopled, and the more effort we invest in guiding the youngest among us toward the truth, the better citizens they will grow to become. That is why progressives care about dominating our education system. It is the staging point for their counteroffensive against moms and dads. It's the reason they're smuggling into our kids' classrooms critical race theory and anti-Americanism and anti-Judeo-Christian values, trans propaganda, and the rest of the outrage industrial complex to subdue their natural courage and resiliency. That's why they fill popular culture with vulgar, idiotic distractions, and why they use every lever of power at their disposal to shame, silence, and cancel anyone who dissents from their orthodoxy. And it's why they lie that marriage and parenthood are expensive and demanding and hard, not because they hate kids, but because they fear them, and they should. Every year on Mother's Day, the media is filled with one article after another by childless writers defending their childlessness as somehow virtuous and more fulfilling. And on Father's Day, dads have long been similarly held up as objects of correction and ridicule. These sad people protest too much, and they're not convincing anyone. Most Americans are wide awake to the reality that kids are force multipliers for freedom, courage, happiness, virtue, and grit. They create the little platoons that transform individuals into families, families into communities, communities into a society, and a society into a patriotic nation. Kids love America, and they aspire us to make her ever more worthy of their love. Parents teach their children how to be good, but children teach their parents how to be great. Together, they make America both, and all for the low, low price of a few hundred diapers, some lost sleep, and stepping on a Lego or two barefoot in the middle of the night and telling yourself, this is not something you have to do. This is something you get to do. I'm Ben Domenech, and this is The American Crisis.